Hey, here we are. We are back. Just Average Schmo, back to do the last video in this kind of little four-part series, if you will. Wasn't intending it to be a four-part series, but you know how I like to ramble. Kind of makes for a little bit longer video, so that we didn't have an hour-long or hour-and-a-half long video going through all these CDs. I decided to split it up into 4 videos. So this will be the last video. This will be the last stack of CDs, most of which will be in the metal genre. I should probably just keep this box to put all those CDs in for now until I figure out exactly where I'm going to put them at, because my shelves are full. So I might have to go through my CDs and maybe get rid of some from other genres. You know, I probably got some country CDs that I could get rid of because I rarely pull them out and listen to them. Or I might just figure out. There might be some place in that room where I could actually find and put like a shelf. Trying to think where, but I don't know. I'll figure something out. Or I might. I mean, I could probably. I might be able to even maybe bring a shelf in here and just put a shelf in here somewhere to hold the CDs. I'll figure something out. Anyway, here we go. So what this was the record label is called Transcending Records. They are liquidating their CD stock, if you will. They're getting out of the CD format, as unfortunately it's kind of going the way of the dinosaur, if you will. I mean, I would think there's always going to be some labels out there and stuff that are putting this format out. I hope. I'm old school. I like having the actual CDs. I like having actual hardback books. You know, the actual discs when I'm as far as video games. Partly just from a collectability standpoint. I like having that, you know, that physical, tangible object. But also because then you get the artwork and so forth with it. And from just a logistics and just a listening or watching, as far as, you know, video games and DVDs and stuff like that, standpoint, you have the concept of, okay, if all you do is stream and everything you have is digital, if something happens and internet, because most people, I mean, most times, most digital stuff you have, when it comes to music and stuff like that, you might have it in your playlist, or you might have it in your, say, collection, your digital collection, but it's not actually stored physically, if you will, on the hard drive or whatever you're listening. It's stored on a cloud or a mainframe at whatever it is, whether it's Spotify or Pandora or whatever. It's stored on a computer somewhere else. And when you go to listen to it, that's basically where you're listening to it from. Or when you go to listen to something, it'll very quickly basically send that whole track or whatever to whatever you're listening to it from, your phone, a tablet, your computer, whatever. And it's basically the whole track is kind of like buffered, if you will, so you can listen to it all the way through. But the actual, again, for lack of a better term, the actual physical manifestation, how you like that word, yeah, of that track isn't actually stored on your device, stored elsewhere. So if the internet goes down, no, I'm not just talking just your internet at your house or whatever, like mine is. I haven't had internet since Memorial Day. I'm eventually going to get around to calling them and trying to figure out and getting it fixed. But I have to be honest, I might just cancel it anyhow because I've made do without it. So why spend $85 a month? Don't need to. But we'll see. Well, yeah, but what if, as a whole, it goes down? Then what are you going to do? You'll be screwed. So I'm old school. I prefer the actual physical CDs and so forth. So it's unfortunate that they're doing that. They're getting out of the CD business. But they are going to be doing vinyl records, which have made a resurgence. I do collect a little bit of vinyl myself. Obviously, they're still going to have other merch, other like clothing and stuff like that from bands on their label. And of course, digital. But what they had was it was $45. You get 30 CDs. They said you're likely to get duplicates. So far, out of the first 45 CDs, I've only gotten one CD that was a duplicate. Hopefully this last stacks, I'll get a few more. That way I can sell them for $3 or $4 a piece plus shipping. And then I can make a little bit of the money I spent back. Why do I want this open? They were packed very well. I will give them that. I haven't had any that were damaged. All right, first up we have Convulse Death Star. Convulse. Did I pull a Convulse? Let's go back and look. I don't think I did. Or if I did, I don't think it was this album. I really like that cover though. That's cool. Next. Okay. I'm pretty sure that is, let's make a different stack here. I'm pretty sure this is one that I already pulled out. I know I pulled an Enchantment, but I can't be sure that it was this album. But I know I did pull that band. So I'll put this in a stack on this side so I can go back and look and see. Obviously, if this is one that I already pulled, then hey, I get a duplicate I can sell. Next, we have got Starwood. If it ain't broke, break it. Well, that's a different take on that saying. Next, we have Skylines Identity. See, now Skylines to me, that doesn't really like scream metal. But it says on this thing here, I'll read it real quick. Something that is completely new and exciting. That was a quote from the Uprise Zine. The blistering debut full-length album from Richmond, Virginia's Skylines demonstrates just how progressive and interesting their music has become. Recorded at Planet Red Studios, who also records artists such as Winter Solstice, Scarlet, and Black Dahlia Murder. This sonic assault captures an intensity some might say has been missing in hardcore of late. For fans of Scarlet, Dead Guy, and Spitfire, we have Skylines Identity. So again, the name of the band, not being derogatory at all, I'm just saying to me that it would be somebody that I would, if it wasn't coming in like a metal mystery box, CD mystery box, if somebody said, hey, there's a band called Skylines, I wouldn't think metal, just from the title of the band. All right, next we have, it's like a 5 or 6 track, so probably like an EP. Hadean, On Fading. Next we've got Spock's Beard, Day for Night. Spock's Beard. Why do they sound so familiar? Wonder if they played one of the festivals. Maybe Sonic Temple? I don't know. I know I've heard of them though. Next, we have Return to Earth, Automata. Okay. Next, we've got, this one does have a little crack in the jewel case. Easily fixed. I've got jewel cases. I can replace it. This is Winter Blut. B-L-U-T. Winter Blut. Grund. Gelkunst. I don't know. See if you can read it. I'm guessing it's like Norwegian or Finnish, something like that. Next, we have Urban Head Raw Human Instinct. This again, just looking at how like it's designed on the back, it gives me kind of a like a hardcore like punk vibe. Next, we have Homoratus. I'm guessing that it looks Latin to me. I took Latin for 3 years. Can't speak diddly squat. It does help though, like other languages. There's, sometimes I can make out like the words. I can get a rough idea of what words are, and like in Spanish or French, Italian, especially Italian because it's very closely resembles Latin. But, here we go. Well, the duplicates aren't looking, they're not just piling out here, so here is a 5-song EP. This is, I don't even know how you pronounce it. It looks like T-N-E-H. I can't read the name of the album either. So there is the, I don't know whether you can read that or not. I don't know. Next we have 3. The End is Begun. The new album from 3. It's a cool cover. Kind of tells a story, if you will. I'm not exactly sure what the story is, but I'd imagine maybe the songs lend some credence to the imagery on the cover of the CD. I always like that. When you can really get in, because a lot of times the cover of the CD might really just kind of be a take and lend something to the band name, not the album of itself, or it will as far as the album, but in particular just like the title of the album, not necessarily like any individual song. But then once in a while you get CDs. So this one, just looking at the cover, I almost wonder if one of the songs, or maybe even a couple of the songs, kind of define why they chose to do the artwork like this. Oh my gosh. Here I got a CD that I actually, a band that everybody knows. And I've got quite a few of their CDs, but I don't have this one. What are the chances of me getting a CD by a band that I know and I love and I've seen multiple times, and I actually get a CD I don't have by them? Amazing. We have Megadeth. Rust in Peace live. Sweet. Cool. And the last disc in the whole entire box is one that I don't think I'm going to be able to read. Wait, here we go. Trigger the Bloodshed. Degenerate. So yeah, that's a cool cover too. All right. there we go. That was the last disc. Again, I'm going to have to look up and go back and look and see if this is a duplicate. I know I pulled an enchantment disc earlier, but I don't know whether it was that one. So if I did, then I will have a total of two CDs right now. Like I said, some of these, after going through listening to them, I might decide, that even though it's metal, I enjoy all kinds of metal. I enjoy almost every bit of metal I like. But just for like housing purposes, as far as having a place to keep them and so forth, there might be some that I decide, you know what, I like it, but it's not going to be one that I'm going to pull out and listen to on a regular basis, so I'll go ahead and sell it. But then there's always a possibility that I might not. So at most, I can guarantee that this one here is a duplicate that will be up for sale. Like I said, because of the title of the group, I don't know whether I would be able to list it in Mercari or eBay, because they're standards, which I understand to a point. Enchantment, if I do have the duplicate of this, then obviously I'll be able to list that one there. And any that if I do go through and after listening to them, I decide, you know what, I'm not going to keep it, then they'll be in Mercari or eBay. So make sure you follow me on eBay and Mercari. You'll find all that information down below, along with my Poshmark and my whatnot. Along with my business page on Facebook. I do post on there occasionally. It is, of course, The Oil Treasure Isle. Overall, there's no question. There's no question that if you are a metalhead and you're old school, like me, I am both. I am old. I'm in my 50s. I consider that old. Well, I don't consider like old. I mean, I'm not quite ancient yet. There's days I feel like it, but I'm not old, but at the same time, I'm old in comparison to, like I say, these whippersnappers today. And I have to say, I'm proud to be of the generation I am. Because honestly, I think not to take away from a lot of the new bands that are out today, there is a lot of really good music out today. There is. But there's also a lot of crappy music out today. And I just think, looking back, when you look at like my generation, my generation growing up is kind of like really responsible, I think, for the new, or the much bigger direction of metal. Prior to my generation, the previous generation is kind of where metal started, I want to say. When they had bands like Man of War and Black Sabbath and Judas Priest and Iron Maiden. You could even look at some of the even more classic rock bands like Foghat and Zeppelin. They're not really metal, but they played their part in getting really the birth, the genre of metal to where it is. I think just about any band in the metal industry, regardless of what kind of metal they are, if you ask their influences, they're gonna reference some of those classic rock bands from back then, from previous generations. Previous generations, I don't necessarily mean previous generations as just, especially my parents. It's really not, neither of my parents really listened to a lot of that music, a lot of those 60s and 70s groups. My parents listened to a lot of the country from that era. And also just rock and roll. So like the 50s and 60s, rock and roll or doo-wop, stuff like that. which on its own is really good music too. I think in general, when you look at music, my personal opinion, I think when you compare the bands of today and music as a whole today in comparison to the different genres of music as they kind of came into their own over the previous generations, I will take the previous generation's music anytime. But with that being said, I do look forward to listening to a lot of these CDs. It will take me a while, no question. Hopefully over the winter, or not over the winter, but here soon, I'm going to start making use of. I'm thinking even this weekend, I'm going to try to get out, clean up the gym out there a little bit, and start making use of it. I've got a DVD player out there with a little TV, but I can obviously play music CDs in it. So I'll be able to maybe listen to these while I'm just relaxing out on the back deck or when I'm actually making use of the gym. But I do look forward to introducing myself to a lot of these bands. But I just think, you cannot go wrong with a lot of that music from yesteryear. But that's just my opinion. Drop a comment down below. Let me know your opinion. What's your favorite genre of music, whether it's just a broad genre of metal or country or whatever, or whether you have a more specific, like within the metal genre, what subset or what subgenre of metal do you like? What are some of your favorite bands? Let me down below. Especially if there's a metal band that I've never mentioned before, or that weren't included in here, drop a comment down below. Let me know a band that you feel I should check out. And I can go further. It doesn't even have to be metal. Any genre of music. If there's somebody that you feel I should check out, by all means, let me know. And I will certainly do that. I will Google them and I will look them up and listen to them. And who knows, maybe somewhere down the line, maybe if I need to do some content, I can pull something up and just kind of give my critique and review of certain bands that you have suggested I check out. So, all right, that's it. All done. As always, look up yourself and everyone around you so we all have a much better chance staying safe and healthy. If you watched till the end, thanks. Give me a thumbs up. See ya.